So like Ogle was saying earlier, we use manual data entry either to help with our uploads or just by itself. So first I'm going to show you how you would use manual uploads in the context of already having information uploaded into the system. So say like one of our users asked, if you have a record that you need to delete out of the system because it's a bad record or it was a double or whatever happened in your upload spreadsheet. To do that, you can simply go into either in-state, import, or export, depending on what the record type was. So we're going to go into in-state. And you're going to be taken to this page, which is the data entry page. And it's going to show you all the records that you uploaded. And to delete any of these records, you can just click this little delete button. And it's going to say, are you sure you want to delete this record? And you're going to say, okay. And then it's going to go away. Now say if you need to revise any of these entries, so say you realize that you didn't accept 35 tons, you accepted 45 tons, you click on this link right here, which is the landfill name. And this is going to bring you to the data entry form. And to edit a record, you just select Edit up here. And then you can choose to, change this to 45. And I'm going to go over this page in much more detail in a second. And then you hit Save. And it's going to tell you that it's been modified successfully. Now I'm going to show you, now that's how you would use the manual data entry as a helping tool when you're doing uploads, so you don't have to keep on re-uploading when you know there's only one record wrong in your spreadsheet. You can go into Logic and just manually change and edit in here so you don't have to keep on re-uploading your form and your template. But a lot of counties don't upload to begin with. So if you're one of those counties that's choosing not to use the upload form and not to upload your disposal data, you're going to start off from a fresh page. We're going to delete the quarter. So you're going to start off from this fresh page. So we're going to start off with a couple of examples on how to just manually enter data into the system. So to get to the data entry form, you can either click any of these links down here, like I said before, and these are going to take you to the different data types, or you can go to data entry and you can hit any of these links up here. So let's go in-state. And because there are no records in here, you're not going to see any information here. We were just at this page previously and it had all the information we had uploaded. Because I deleted the quarter, this is no longer here. So to add information, we need to hit Add in State. And this is going to take you to this form. If you ever are curious about what these fields need to have in them, these little question marks will tell you what is required. They're going to define what these fields mean. So for our destination facility, you click on here, it's going to show you all the landfills in your particular county. So in Sacramento County, we have a choice between L&D landfill and Sacramento landfill, or Sacramento County landfill. It's also important to note that some landfills go by more than one name. We try to also keep those names in here too, so you know which ones we're talking about. But usually the best way to identify what landfill you need is by their Swiss number, because those are unique to every specific landfill. So for our first example, we're going to choose L&D landfill. And for place of origin, as you're typing these out, like Okla was saying, it will prompt you with all the choices that you have for your jurisdiction name. So our first example is Santa Rosa and Sonoma County. So if we start typing Santa Rosa, and as you notice, when you start spelling it wrong, it doesn't give you any options, so that's how you know you spelled it wrong. So you can either choose Santa Rosa, Sonoma, or Ventura County, and it's on cities like this. There are two different cities located in two different counties. You need to know which county they belong to. In this case, we know it's Sonoma County, so we can choose that. This is our origin unknown code. You're largely not going to use this, so you can just leave it at select a reason, because you're almost always going to know where your waste comes from. So now we're going to fill out total tons accepted. So for total tons accepted and total tons disposed, your accepted always has to be greater than your disposed plus ADC and AIC. It can also be greater than this. So let's say we put in like 30 tons, And in our example, we know that we disposed 40 tons. If we try to save this now, we're going to be told that we have to make sure that this is true, and it's not right now, accepted is less than disposed. So in our example, we actually had 80 tons disposed. So now we're okay. If we save this now, it's going to tell us that we've saved successfully. We also, on our sheet, notice that we have some ADC. So when you're filling out this box, so you want to fill out your ADC by material type and your AIC by material type. And we have 20 tons of glass. We'll notice that glass is not a material type, so we're going to put it in other. But if we save without putting in this description, even though it tells us that it's required, it's going to remind us with this nice red note telling us that we forgot to put in a description in. So we're going to put in glass. And that's how you would deal with that particular error. And now we're going to save. And when you start to save your entries, they're going to start showing up in your facility log. So you're going to be able to see all of the other entries that you've made for this facility. So you can see about, I think, 5 or 6 of them as you go along. So we're going to add another end state. And it's also going to be an L&D landfill. We're going to choose the city of Merced. So as we spell it Merced, we're going to just pick out Merced up here. It's not going to say city of, it's just going to say Merced. You can also pick the unincorporated or the county, but for right now we're doing city of Merced. And we have 65 tons accepted. And then 45 tons disposed. And then we have 20 tons green waste. So we see green material up here, so we put 20 tons in here. And now we're going to hit save. And as you can see, we're starting to get more records in this little facility log box. Okay, and we're also going to just add one more end state. And this is going to be for a different landfill. So now you need to, so when you're doing this, you want to make sure you're adding for the correct landfill. So as we add for this landfill, we're going to notice that its facility log box is blank because we haven't added anything in yet. It's going to be Sacramento. Oh, nope. Sometimes it tries to guess for you too hard. So you always want to make sure that it is actually choosing what you want. So we're going to put in 100 tons disposed, or accepted, 75 tons disposed, and there is no ADC in this example. So then we hit save, and it's going to tell us that we've done it successfully. Now I'm going to show you how to enter imports. So we're going to go to data entry, and we're going to click on import. And then since we haven't added any imports yet, we're just going to have to hit add import over here. And so for our facility, we are going to use L&D landfill again. And because we haven't added any imports yet, we're not going to see any imports in this facility log. So the location type that we're going to use in this example is Indian country. You can also choose out of state or out of country. When you select Indian country, it's going to prompt you for your state and your reservation. So we're going to choose California. And we're going to go over to this just again. If you know an Indian reservation name like Red Hawk, but we don't know it, it's going to tell you that it's an unknown Indian country. So this is what you're going to choose if you don't get prompted with an Indian nation. But for instance, if you're doing a Mission Indian reservation, there are a lot of them. So you want to know the specific Indian reservation that you're reporting for. Otherwise, you're going to usually, or not usually, but if you don't know, you're going to be using this unknown Indian country code. And in our example, we have 50 tons accepted and 50 tons disposed. And again, you would fill out this box as you would need to for any ADC received from the Indian nation. And then you hit save. We added it successfully. And now my last example for manual data entry is going to be export. So we're going to go up to data entry. This is a little different method to get there. So you can either hit export here in the table, or export over here, or export up here. Usually you can get to it in multiple ways from any of the pages you're on. So we're going to hit export. And again, we haven't added any exports yet, so there is no information here, and that is what we would expect. So we're going to add an export. And exports ask for less information, so all we need to enter is our place of origin. So we're going to go Citrus Heights. Choose Citrus Heights. The facility type is going to be out of state. And the destination state is going to be Nevada. All right, and then the facility name is going to be Lockwood, which is one of the common ones. So here's Lockwood Regional Landfill in Nevada. And it's going to ask you for disposal export tons. So this is how many tons went across the border. In our example, we are using 50. It's a nice round number. So we're going to hit save. It's going to tell you that you did it successfully. And now we're going to go back to over onto the data entry page. And this page is going to tell you all of your totals. So you want to make sure that these totals add up to whatever you've recorded on your own manual entry or on your own disposal report. So, so you want to make sure that all of these totals match up to what you've reported on your disposal report. It's also going to tell you all the facilities that you've disposed at, including any of the export facilities. So this is good information to know. It's also going to give you definitions. So if you forget any of these terms, it'll define them for you. You can hide them if you don't want to know. And then when you go back to the overview page, again, it's going to tell you all of this, but it's not going to have facility summaries entered because we haven't done that yet. And you have to enter any facility summaries for your county in order to submit data.